applause thundered through the small, velvet-draped theater. Tobias smiled under his mask as the curtain fell, his chest swelling with pride. It had been his finest performance yet. The tragic clown, his role, had drawn gasps and tears from the audience. In the dressing room, surrounded by the comforting clutter of costumes and grease paint, Tobias reached up to remove the mask. His fingers found the edges, but something was wrong. The mask wouldn't budge. He tried again, pulling harder, feeling the resistance like a second skin fused to his own. Panic bubbled under his ribs. He yanked, his nails digging into the mask's edges, but it didn't give. It felt like it had melted into his flesh. "Tobias?" Elsa, his co-star, called from the doorway. "I can't get it off," he croaked, turning to her. Elsa's face froze. "What do you mean? Stop joking. The curtain call." "It's not a joke," Tobias shouted, his voice muffled by the mask. He clawed at it now, his hands trembling. Blood appeared under his nails as he scratched at where the mask met his skin. Elsa backed away, her face pale. "That's not makeup, Tobias." "What?" She gestured with shaking hands. The mirror reflected not the rubber mask he had donned, but something grotesque. The mask seemed alive, its painted grin twitching at the corners, the hollow eyes now glistening like real, wet orbs. The clown's laugh echoed faintly, but Tobias hadn't laughed. "Help me," he begged, his voice breaking. Elsa bolted from the room, screaming for someone, anyone. But Tobias was alone now, staring at the thing in the mirror that was no longer just a mask. The clown's expression began to change without him, its smile widening, splitting unnaturally wide. Tobias stumbled back as the painted mouth moved. "You played me well, Tobias," it whispered in a voice like wind through dry leaves. "So well, I think I'll keep you." "No!" Tobias screamed, grabbing a shard of broken mirror. He tried to cut the mask free, but the blade only sunk into his flesh beneath it, drawing fresh streams of blood. The mask laughed, a deep, hollow sound. Tobias's vision blurred, his hands falling to his sides as the room darkened. When the others returned, they found only a lifeless shell crumpled on the dressing room floor, the mask perfectly intact. The next night, the theater was packed again. The audience marveled at the lifelike expressions of the new prop mask hanging on the wall of the stage. Its painted grin seemed almost alive, and when the lights dimmed, some swore they heard faint, muffled screams.